Hi guys, today is the first episode of the Road to Ranking series, right? If you haven't already seen the first 4 episodes of the SEO audit for the Florida TMS Clinic, I recommend you go and watch them. And we basically go over the 4-phase audit system that we're going to be using today, but we do all the we identify all the opportunities, we identify all the issues with the site, and this sort of series for the next couple of months will be the implementations and the techniques that we use, the content, the adjustments, all these different things to actually help their SEO and gain more traffic, gain more rankings, and hopefully gain more clients, right? So this video series will be over a course of about three months, I reckon. We'll be showing different results, different techniques that we use. I'll give you a bit of background on the goals that we're actually planning on completing and accomplishing. What we did was the deal was with the TMS clinic was we were going to rank for certain keywords and then get a reward for the keywords that we rank for, right? So for example, TMS Tampa or TMS in Tampa is a keyword that we want to rank for, right? So one of the actual goal that we've implemented is to rank for that certain keyword, and then we'll get a reward of $1,000, right? So there's a couple of these keywords. There's a national keyword and 2 local keywords at the moment, and then hopefully once we rank for those keywords, we then go ahead and rank for more keywords, more national keywords, more local keywords, right? So I don't want to take up too much of your time, but effectively, I want to say if you do want the Duda SEO checklist that I use for the implementations and for the phase 1 audit, I recommend you go and watch that video. All you have to do is just join my Facebook group and you'll be able to receive it in there, the Neat Crowd SEO and Digital Marketing. You'll also be able to receive the site architecture template and the new template that we've got, a list of tools that I use. That I'm going to use these tools throughout the next couple of months during this series, so you'll be able to see how I use them and how I utilize them to help clients out. So again, to give you a quick background on what I do, what we've already done is a phase 1 audit, and we've done all the phase 1 implementations. A couple of them still are outstanding, but that's dependent on certain things that need to be completed first. I'll give you a quick tip. I did do a video on how you can actually take this phase 1 audit and take these issues and actually show them in a bit more of a sort of user-friendly perspective, right? So what you want to do is you want to take these and you actually want to just implement them onto Freedcamp, which is a project management tool. I did a video about this. Stop emailing your clients, do this instead. Which is effectively explaining, taking the sort of technical kind of audit with all the data and all these different things that kind of are hard to explain to certain clients, certain business owners. Well, the average business owner won't know what schema markup is, citations, these different things, site architecture. So what you want to do is you want to take this and you want to implement it into Freedcamp and explain with a description, and you want to explain, what, before optimizations, after optimizations with the page speed. You want to explain certain things, notes from myself, and then they can make comments if they don't understand certain things. So for example, we wanted a citation business description approved because we didn't want duplicate content, and Khaled actually, made a couple points, and we went from there. So it's really important that you have this in place because you can convey the issues and things that need to be done through Freedcamp, and you can also continue that relationship week by week and continue that communication, right? Because I always say you're selling relationships, not services, right? You're selling relationships with a business owner, and they need to be in contact with you week by week, not month by month, week by week, and then they have obviously an in-depth report every month. But if they can see this, they have it on their laptop, they have it on their phone, they know exactly what you're doing, exactly the value they're providing, and their return on investment per week, per month, right? So I recommend you install Freedcamp for your clients and actually take this phase 4, this content audit, the content audit, the phase 1, the phase 2, and the phase 3, and the phase 4, and you actually start taking the things that you found and the issues and the recommendations and things, and start implementing them onto Freedcamp like I've done here with the dates and things like that, because it's all about presentation and actually showing clients, local business owners, a sort of clean package that they understand. It's not what do they say? I'm looking for the word. it's not jargon, right? You don't want to be using certain words. You don't want to be, you want to make it as simple as possible for them to understand. And for them, if they don't understand certain things, what's great about this is they can actually comment on, different things. Like, it sounds good, feel free to change, and you can actually ask for approval rather than having to email them and things like that. So let's get into it, right? So we're doing the phase 2 this week. I've already done quite a bit of it already. Effectively, the next phase 2 and phase 3 is just building content, adjusting on-page SEO, technical SEO, different things like that. I have done phase 1 already. I did do a couple of videos on the phase 1 with the page speed and the site architecture. It isn't part of this video series. I really wanted to make this video series more focused on, building content, building engagement, different things like that. But if you are into the technical side of things, which is phase 1 and the foundational issues and just fixing certain, aspects on your site, which will help SEO because it is important to do the phase 1, I recommend you go and watch those videos. Schema markup, optimizing your do to site speed, site architecture template, different things like that. So to start off, I just wanted to explain what the phase 2 section, the phase 2 kind of audit is. Effectively, all we do is just benchmark everything, benchmark keywords towards their correspondent URLs, right? And then we start making, data-based optimizations based on the data, right? Or the competitors, right? So the two things you want to look at is your competitors and the data, right? And then you can make adjustments and you can make recommendations based on the data, right? And you can actually give context to those changes, right? So for example, if the click-through rate is low, few snippets, we've adjusted the title tag, we'll adjust the meta description, right? Because those are the things that will increase your click-through rate. So if a business owner saw that, they'd then understand why you've done that, right? Rather than just changing a title tag without any context behind it. So it's really important that you do this and you have this in place. And whenever you make any sort of adjustments, it's really important that you have data behind it. So for example, TMS Tampa, so far we saw the click-through rate was quite low and we want to get the rankings up. Currently it's in, if we just go search from USA, just so it's accurate. Just go to iSearch from, then we go United States, English, and then we just go TMS Tampa. So this is one of the main focus keywords that if we rank number 1 for, we'll then get our reward for. So as you can see here, our main goal is to rank organically in this area down here. Currently we're here and we need to be up there. So based off of the audit, we can start making adjustments and changes and to actually increase the ranking and increase the click-through rate, right? Because click-through rate effectively isn't a direct it is a ranking factor, because the more engagement you get, the higher you'll rank. So the ways we can do this are two things, right? Well, this is quite simple, but you have to identify the simple things first. So we've adjusted the site architecture already. It hasn't been indexed properly yet. Hopefully this will start to de-index and it will start to show up with the correct URL. And then we go back here, so that's been changed. There's no duplicate content or internal duplicate content. Well, there's a bit, but nothing to worry about. There's no sort of external duplicate content either. With the word count, we are going to add some content onto the page to increase the word count and increase start hitting certain keywords that competitors are using. I'm going to show you how to do this with a tool called Cognitive SEO. I'm going to show you how to do this later, but bear with me for the minute. So you can start to see bounce rate. For example, bounce rate could be in correlation to the site design, right? So if people are landing on the site and bouncing straight off, maybe you need to adjust the design slightly, add a video on there maybe to keep them on the site for longer. Average time on page, in links, obviously. These are important as well because you want to add internal linking to power up the pages, extract that link juice, so that we've done that too. So it's all about on-page SEO, right? So as you can see here, the title tag currently is Florida TMS Clinic, the most advanced TMS in therapy in Tampa, right? So we've adjusted this from, obviously that title tag there to TMS in Tampa, Florida's #1 TMS therapy clinic. Right, the reason why I've done this is because the keyword that we're optimizing for is TMS in Tampa, and what you want to do is have that on the far left side of the title tag. Two reasons: to improve the click-through rate and to improve the SEO of the title tag, right? Because if you have it furthest to the left, Google will read that more likely than they would, something on the end of the title tag. So they'll read the first phrase first. Same with, users. They'll read the first. They'll read the keyword that's furthest to the left first. So it's important that you have it on the left, right? So that's why we've done that. Obviously, we've added a kind of. I really like the way the Florida TMS Clinic has added the number 1 there, because that's slightly unique compared to the other competitors on the site. So I decided to integrate that in this title tag here. So it's always important that you have some sort of incentive and some sort of difference when compared to the other listings on the Google search engine. And the way you do this is, first of all, obviously by looking at the data, as I say, and then the second part is by looking at your competitors. So if we went on to TMS in Tampa and we actually look at what the competitors are doing. So as you can see, most of them are using the keyword which is furthest over to the left. So TMS Therapy Tampa, which is more to the left. I would recommend taking out the home and just having it to. But TMS on South Tampa, so that's to the left. TMS Therapy Tampa FL, so that's to the left. The most advanced TMS therapy in Tampa. So there's our first issue. By analyzing what the competitors are doing, we can actually see what we need to do, right? So we've adjusted the TMS therapy in Tampa, or TMS Tampa, and we've put it on the left. We've also adjusted the site architecture, and we've also adjusted the schema markup. So we've actually added reviews. Obviously, this isn't indexing yet with the new listing, but if we went to site Florida TMS Clinic, this is how it would look. This is how the new version would look, right? So we've got the site architecture in place, Tampa TMS. We've got our title tag in place, TMS in Tampa, which is furthest to the left, our exact keyword. And we've got our sort of incentive with the number 1 TMS Therapy Clinic. And then we've got our schema markup rating result. So this is almost the perfect title, the perfect Google listing, because you want to have everything that's relevant for the Google bots, and you want to have everything that's relevant for the user, right? Because it's all about providing relevant content for the user's search query, right? So there you go. Right, that's what we've done. Slight changes, obviously this isn't a massive change, but it will improve the click-through rate and may improve the rankings on the site. And then we get into more on-page sort of SEO. By using the phase 2 template, we can actually start looking at adjustments that we can make. So previously, we had the H1 as our services. So what you want to do is just adjust that to the best TMS in Tampa, which is what I did. And previously, before that, we actually had 2 H1s on the page. So having multiple H1s on your website page is actually bad for SEO, because Google bots will be confused when they land on the page. There'll be 2 versions of your H1 that you make sure that your main H1 has your keywords and is relevant to the user's search query, right? And you only have 1 H1. So, for example, our services wasn't relevant to Florida TMS, the most advanced TMS therapy in Tampa. You want to have the same expectation from when they click on the title tag to when they land on the page, right? So instead, I've changed that to from our services to the best TMS in Tampa. So as soon as they land on that page, so when they land on that page, if I just go. So as soon as they land on that page, right, if we go to page 2, they have the expectation that it's going to be the best TMS in Tampa. And then we adjusted certain titles because there was a lot of H2s on the page, and a lot of them weren't relevant to the search query, right? So I'll give you an example. A lot of these down here were H2s, and that's not good. We need to make them H3s. Google actually reads they find H1s and H2s the most important. After that, it kind of gets a bit not as important, right? But you want to make sure that your H2s and H1s are optimized for that keyword, right? And are relevant for that keyword and that topic that you're trying to go for. So for example, this is our H1. These are all H3s. This is a H2, so we've got our TMS in Tampa, and then this is a H2 as well, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. The way you can actually identify this quickly is using something called Mozbar. So this is a Google Chrome add-on. So if I find Google Chrome, and then we take that URL, we plug it in here, And then when you get the Moz bar, it's free. Then you just go to page analysis, and then you can actually start to see what H1s are on there. So we've got the H1, we've only got one H1, so it's important that you have that. And then you've got two H2s, so you don't want to dilute the H2s too much. So we've got CMS therapy services, and we've got TMS Tampa, so that's our keywords in the H2. And then we've got sort of, obviously you can see the bold and strong keywords and things like that. But the rest of the titles on the page are H3s because they're not relevant. Well, they're more broad subjects. So, for example, this keyword here, this phrase here, is not really relevant. Well, it is because it's TMS, but it's we're ranking for the phrase TMS rather than the full phrase here. So, it's important that you make sure that every title tag and all the details on the page that Google reads are relevant to the user's search query, and they are relevant to the Google bot when they land on the page. So the Google bot knows exactly what this page is ranking for. So, for example, I'll give you another example. Previously, on the home page, it said the #1 TMS in Tampa Bay. However, this homepage is actually ranking for Florida TMS. So the thing is you need to be distinctive into what page is ranking for what. You want to really, this is the value of benchmarking. You actually identify what keyword is ranking for what URL. So TMS Florida and TMS Tampa, they need to be focused on those keywords. So one of the things I did adjust is when you land on the Florida TMS page, TMS clinic, you don't want it to say #1 TMS in Tampa Bay, because this page is the page that we're trying to rank for Tampa. We're trying to rank this page for Florida TMS, which is another keyword which is part of the goal completions, right? So we adjusted that from #1 TMS in Tampa Bay to the #1 Florida TMS clinic. So it's relevant for that keyword, right? So it's relevant for the user search query. When they click that title, they'll know that this is the #1 TMS in Florida. And it's also relevant for the Google bots. So they'll identify which page is ranking for what. So we've actually got this page now is solely focused on TMS in Tampa, and this page is solely focused for TMS Florida. Do you start to see what I'm doing here, right? So it's really important that you're actually identifying which page, or you're benchmarking which page is ranking for what, and then you start structuring the on page, and you start structuring the data, the title tags, everything towards that keyword. And then we did also go ahead and do some internally linking, but I'm not going to get into that too much today. We did some internal links to power up certain pages. So what you want to do is you want to do in the phase 1 section, internal links all pointing to homepage on main pages. So you want to find the highest traffic pages using the benchmarking data, and then add internal links to the pages you want to rank. So, for example, Accelerated TMS was a blog post that is actually getting quite a lot of traffic, well, a fair amount. So we go to TMS blog, then we go to Accelerate Your Freedom from Depression, so it's Accelerated TMS. This is another page that we're trying to rank nationally, by the way. But one of the things that we did, because this is receiving a lot of traffic, is we actually internally linked. Here. So when you click on here, Tampa Bay area, it goes to the best TMS in Tampa. So we've actually passed the link juice. It's not taking the link juice; it's just passing that link juice to or that link juice and that traffic. The power of this page, not only the link juice, but the power of this page to this page as well. So it's increasing the authority of that page. The same with the home page, right? And we've done certain links to the home page to increase the authority of this home page. But we've also taken some links and we've put it back to this page here, the TMS in Tampa page. So for example, I'll find one down here, TMS Tampa TMS therapy, and that goes to this page. It's also important that you bring sort of topical relevance to this page as well. So all of these pages come under, Tampa TMS therapy, right? And what you want to do is you want to start bringing topical relevance. So what that means is adding the content a bit more rich in how do I explain this? Say if you had I'll give you an example, right? I'll go to the whiteboard. So it's important that you pass link juice, right? Obviously, link juice and page link juice, and page authority to other pages that you want to rank, right? But it's also important that you start building, you start building content, relevant content, because if all these pages are relevant content for this TMS Tampa page, so you want to start bringing topical seeding to these pages, right? To this page, right? I'm getting a bit confused. Sorry. So what you want to do, say for example, if there's TMS therapy, and then there's TMS FAQs, which we do have. We have all these pages, FAQs. We have a page called TMS education, TMS education, right? And then they're all linking to the main page, which is TMS Tampa. Not only does that bring link juice to that page, right? So it increases the sort of link authority and things like that when you do internal linking, but you're also bringing topical relevance to this page. Because the way I like to explain this is so all of these pages are going to this page. If Google bots, right? So say these are all Google bots, right? Lots and lots of Google bots. If they're coming towards this page and they're indexing this page and they only see this page, right? It's much a couple of the Google bots may read it, but all of these Google bots around it will go straight past, right? So what you want to do is you want to start catching these Google bots and actually building a sort of structure around this page. So when these Google bots go by, they'll actually hit these pages as well, and that's what we call topical relevance, because all of these pages are structured for TMS in Tampa, right? And we're going to start building content to these pages as well to make them even more relevant to TMS in Tampa. So it's important that you link these pages back to this page to increase the relevance of that page, right? Because if this page was on its own, you're not fully utilizing the Google bots. When they land on that page, they'll start to see that this is relevant for TMS therapy, TMS FAQs, TMS education, and it's also relevant for TMS Tampa. I hope I explained that well. I did explain this in a couple other videos, in a couple of the Florida TMS SEO audit videos, but that's what you want to do, right? So I hope I explained that well, but what you want to do is you want to build pages, relevant pages around the main page that you're trying to rank for. And we've kind of already got this already. We just need to add more content to these pages, and then start building relevant content around this page here and start linking back to them. So one of the ways I actually build content and actually build content and check content that's relevant for SEO is obviously I get the content writers to do it, which are local to me. And then what we do is we actually implement the content into something called cognitive SEO. So if I click on here, cognitive SEO, check score, check this. So what it does, right, is if we take some content, for example, it actually gives us a content performance score based on the competitors, right, and what the competitors are using, and it gives us keywords and ideas to what we can use and put in our content, right? So if we go to, for example, TMS Tampa, we'll start from the beginning, and then we analyze that. So we go to the US, we go to ranking analysis, and we can start to see the competitors and what their content performance is, right? And as you can see here, we're fifth here down here. Well, maps, and then obviously, so we're more fourth in the organic listings. And our content performance is 43, and their content performance at the top is 63. So we then identify what we need to do for the on page, right? And what you can do is you can go to you can click on this listing down here, and you can start optimizing this page. So that currently this is 43 and the target is to get to 56. So what we did, and then it kind of gives you ideas on keywords and things that you can use. So one of the things that I did was I printed out and I exported all these keywords, keywords you should use more often, and I gave them to the content writers to rewrite the content and start adding these keywords in the page, right? So we've got our content in the drive. So 2 seconds, guys. So as you can see here, we've got our content in here. This is our sort of more optimized content with our keywords and things. We've added a bit of content onto it. And then what we do is we just double check and we see if this is optimized enough using the cognitive SEO tool. What you can do is you can go in here and you could possibly simply take out this content in here. Maybe we can just cross that out. We can just plug in our content in here, and then we can recheck the score. Oh, don't know why it's. So then we've got 65, right? So after using that content, we've actually utilized the keywords, and now we're at 65. So the target was 56, so we're doing okay there. So we've got 65, right? And when you compare that to the competitors, it's 63. So it's all about adjusting, looking at the data, identifying the data, optimizing your own page in a way that's better than the competitors. So you take what's working and you make it better. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, right? So that's one of the things that you should do if you are building content. If you have content writers, you should use this cognitive SEO tool and actually identify what needs to be done. And you can start adding keywords and things like that. So what we'll do is we'll then take this content and we'll actually plug it into Freedcamp, and we'll request approval from Khaled before we implement this onto the site. And that's what's great about Freedcamp. So you can just implement that, and then he'll be notified, and he can comment on it, make adjustments where he sees fit. So yeah, I hope that's everything, guys. The next episode will hopefully be out in next couple of days, and we'll tell you what happens, and we'll sort of show the content that we're optimizing. Hopefully we'll start optimizing content on the rest of the pages, so accelerate TMS therapy, all these different pages, and start linking back to the main page here to increase the topical relevance of that page, right? I think that's everything for you guys. Again, if you want the Do the SEO checklist, simply go and join my Facebook group. Again, as well, if you want the site architecture template and things like that, all you have to do is just join my Facebook group and you'll receive it in there for free. Again, if you want the phase 1 audit as well, I'm offering the phase 1 audit for free. I'll identify all the foundational issues for your site. All you have to do is just send me an email with your site URL, and I'll sort that out for you. I'll leave a link in the description below. And yeah, so thank you very much, guys. Enjoy your day.